Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to be talking about that damn Stephen A. Smith. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So, y'all know that every like 6 months, Stephen A. Smith decides to jump out the window and pull off another grimy antic, usually in the direction of Max Kellerman. Now, y'all know how that show ended. We were all shocked by it a few years ago. We covered it extensively on our channel. And then after, Max Kellerman got forcibly removed from First Take, he then ultimately got a show called This Just In or something like that. And then after that, he got let go by the network. And Stephen A. Smith essentially went on like a victory lap tour, man. He was going to different shows. I think like Power 105 or Hot 97, one of those shows. I think it was Power 105. And then he went on the Joe Budden podcast, just basically trashing Max Kellerman every stop he went. And that's how me and Marcellus Wiley got cool, because I was defending Max. And Marcellus Wiley was calling out a lot of the nonsense that Stephen A. Smith was spewing in the direction of Max Kellerman. So this morning here, I was going through the internet, and one of our followers, who's actually a very loyal follower to the channel, sent me a video from the Instagram page called Andre's OG Ward, right? I think that's what it's called, Andre's OG Ward. And it was a clip that was published about 15 to 16 hours ago as we're producing this show. And it says, Stephen A. Smith gives his take on why the business relationship didn't work out long-term with Max Kellerman. So one of our viewers sends this to me. He goes, watch this. Well, take a look at this video, because it seems like Stephen A. Smith is throwing Max Kellerman under the bus again. It's like, this guy can't even help himself. And he said people were absolutely destroying him in the comment section. So I click on the video to hear it for myself. And of course, you got Stephen A. Smith doing it again, man. Just doing it again. But before we even get into what he had to say, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these NBA Summer League games. Here's what I like to do. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what I want to do now is I want to play exactly what Stephen A. Smith had to say on this show about his former partner, Max Kellerman, and then I want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
I felt like about 2 years in, I didn't think it was going to work long term. I was like Stephen A. against the world.
You're at the helm. This is your show.
That's right.
In steps Max Kellerman.
Yes, I needed a partner. They were looking for somebody to replace Skip for 5 days a week, and I knew that his personality was different than that of Skip Bayless, but obviously he's a brilliant brother.
It was working until it wasn't. And you said pretty early on, you started noticing, I got my approach, I'm straight to the point, I'm unapologetic about it. Max has a slightly different approach, but you felt like it wasn't gonna work long before it ended.
I felt like about 2 years in, I didn't think it was gonna work long term. I didn't have regrets about bringing him on board. You know that as time was evolving and you saw the other shows and you saw the talent, people clamoring for a point of view mattered. They're looking for conflict and confrontation.
It's a debate show.
That's right, it's a debate show. And it got to a point where that's not what folks were getting. And so you see people opening their mouths and talking about, it was Stephen A. wanted this or whatever. It's not about what I want. It's about what the audience wants. So what it was saying was, we together didn't work. Now maybe it was a byproduct of what we had trained the audience to be accustomed to with me and Skip.
I'll put my salary on
I
it.
swear I wish this some water about throw this in. How could what?
Just donate it to charity. You know why?
$8.5 million? And the fact that that wasn't there, okay, is something they lamented. My point is, that's what they lamented.
It's not personal.
It's not personal.
Never been
It's not personal. They didn't say me, him, or whatever. They said us. So what I was saying was, okay, they said that in year 2, and 3, and 4, and now here we are in year 5. What y'all gonna do about it? I was willing to come off First Take and do other things, and obviously they didn't want that, and so they made the decision that they made. I had to make it work, or else. I was like Stephen A. against the world.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Stephen A. Smith will say, what do you guys want from me? They asked me a question, so I answered. This is true. They did ask you a question, but how you choose to respond to it is another thing. Stephen A. Smith could have literally said, I no longer work with Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is now doing something, I think, with Dana White or HBO Sports or something like that. He's on to doing great things. I wish Max Kellerman the best. I have nothing negative to say about the guy anymore. And I think that what I had to say about our fallout on First Take has been documented, well documented. And I don't want to rehash this again because I just don't feel like it's something that I need to be doing right now. Period. End of story. But instead, Stephen A. Smith decides to opt for the latter and just goes on there and starts trashing Max. There's no way you saying what you said will make Max look good, because you are essentially saying that Max, for whatever reason, wasn't getting enough traction or motion for him to stay on the show. Period. End of story. That's all it was. Let me go through some of the comments because I said I was going to read. He said, one guy says, everyone knows Max Kellerman was the real talent on the show. Another guy says, I don't give a F what nobody says. I like Max Kellerman on First Take. Another guy says, Max was great on there. Another guy says, Max was and is awesome. I remember a couple of decades back, he predominantly covered boxing. The passion he had/has for boxing was so evident. It made me a bigger fan of him. Another guy said he stopped liking Max when black people started liking Max more. And then another guy says, nah, Max was tearing Stephen A. Smith a new one on them debates. And when he started to get invited to cookouts, you got him up out of there. And people just kept on roasting him. People are saying that the reason Stephen A. Smith really didn't want to work with Max Kellerman was because of that situation that occurred on the show with Terrell Owens. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for them. And I'm like, you may have a point. But to me, the thing is, it's like, yo, bro, man, you could have just avoided this question altogether. But to go through it again and talk about how Max was like, yo, come on, man. Like, yo, you got to stop with this, man. You got to stop with this. Like, enough is enough, man. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show and I'm out. Peace.